Hello, comrades. It's Premier Rever, and I have remembered to put in the conveyor down to our ore processing. So let me get that so where we can work on it. Oops, wrong button. There we go. Good. So we have not gotten much done here because we're waiting for asphalt for kind of like ever. But they have done a good job of getting these roads done. And I was thinking about this situation. I'm not sure how this is going to affect the people in the bus stop. But when there's nobody on this road, I think we might be able to get away. Let's see how this goes. If I just delete this part, right? Because the reason I did this goofiness was to try to get this guy to have a little bit more of a run-in. Now, I think it would be longer if we went up to here, but I also think we can get away with this at least temporarily. Yeah, so there you go. So let's just see if that helps. Make sure the buses, because then the buses are going to have to go here, and I think we can get that many more trucks in here and not have a jam up. But we'll see. It's ugly as sin, I know. But what I would like to do is we're working on this road, and I like that these two trucks are running back and forth with gravel because they're just filling this guy up, and we're only using it for the concrete and the asphalt, which is the long-term plan. So what I did since the last episode was switch from here to having them get the gravel out of here. And then once this road's built, it won't be, it'll be a little bit shorter route for them to get up here to get to that. So we're making progress over here. What I would like to do, and you guys can probably tell from the title, is make a smart export system. And what I'm talking about that, and I don't know how smart it is, you guys can argue with the title. Not sure what else to call it, but an export system where we provide everything to import or to our local supply, our domestic supply, right? And then whatever is excess, that's what we'll export, right? So eventually I'm looking right here, for example, either here or here, that we would build something for each of these. Now, we're not in any hurry, right? But when we make prefabs, there's going to be a train that pulls into here and then comes back out, and it's going to go, again, this is longer term. We can do the same thing with the trucks, and I think we can use the same buildings for the most part. But what I want to do is get it so that we can, when the train comes back, if it still has prefabs, it would drop off at a depot, and then there would be another train that would wait until it was full of stuff, and it might just pick up anything, right? So we would have a train that could have flat cars that would pick up the prefab panels and the bricks, right? Anything that train car could hold. What's the other thing? Well, cement is a different issue because it's not on flat cars. So really in this area, it would probably just be the prefabs and the bricks, and the steel, right? Like, so if we had excess steel, it could drop that off there too. So what that'll mean is things like, well, we get rid of this as being our main supply. This would just become a steel buffer eventually. And I'm saying all of this too because I think the real goal for the episode, besides the exporting, is to switch back over to a ruble-based economy. There's really no reason in the future we can take out ruble loans, right? If we want to build all this stuff. I don't think, the importing and exporting fees, once we get a lot of this fired up, are going to be relatively insignificant. It's not like we can't keep purchasing steel, for a little while till we ran out of money from the Americans. But we're not terribly far from the NATO border anyway. Let's take a look and see what that would mean. And maybe we just don't rush into it, right? Like, we can start getting these buildings built and start thinking about how we would do it, and then just sort of wait until that goes. So if we were to purchase with rubles, it's 39 from here, say, because this is where I would still probably purchase my steel. And this is 38. Now the rubles are worth more money, but it's not necessarily a huge amount, right? It's something we could probably handle. So what that's telling me is, well, we're not in a big rush to do it, but certainly not when it comes to the steel purchase right here. So what I would like to do is talk about where it would make sense, because this would mean that everything would go up to that Valencia over there. And where we could really start with that is, say, the alcohol, for example. Now, what we would need to do the alcohol is a place that they could pull into to drop off the alcohol after they're done delivering it to the rest of the map, and then we would have a truck that could pull out of there. Right, so we have this line going right across our vision here, but I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a power line there. And I think that when it comes to these things that we're producing over here, oil and all of that, we could do all of this in that area. Now, actually, yeah, this could be fine, but maybe we don't connect these two. Right, would be like one of the ways we could do this as far as the oil is concerned. So let's go ahead and like destroy this connection. Right, so that's not going to be connected. And when we build this, what we would want is to have at least, I think there's what, 2 trucks can sit in one of these. Let's go look. Yeah, I can get to it from here, right? No, it's just 1 truck, which would be a jam up at that point. So what we would need is a loading and unloading. Right, that's in. Yeah, the pipes aren't necessarily in the world's greatest place for doing this over here. Right, because they're like the Audis are this way. So I guess the best thing we could probably get it over to here, or like this. Yeah, this would be good. And that's not so bad. We'd leave the ability to get the train into here, because we could have a train sitting here as well. Right? Let's take it a little bit further away. Right, so there we go. So we'd have that, and then we would have... Yeah, I guess I should raise this up just in case. Did I hit that? Let's go back down to the ground. 1, 2, 3. If you go up 3, you can get a road underneath of there. Right, and then we'll go back down. Well, we don't really need to. It'll just attach. Right, so push comes to shove, we could get a road through there, and that was an Audi, and it would be into here, and then we could either sit a truck here. Well, see, if we sit a truck here, the problem is then they can't come back. Yeah, that's a little... Oh, you know what? We could sit the truck here, right? Because we would have a parking spot near this. So the exporting trucks could come into here, and the importing trucks could come over to here. So since we're just designing things anyway, let's go ahead and get this guy all paved up, at least with gravel. All right, so let's commit to that pipe, just so it's committed. I don't end up buying it accidentally. Right, so there's a way. Now that's going to be pretty steel intensive, so I'm going to probably hold off on the oil thing, but like with the clothing, we could do the same thing. Now clothing, alcohol, and food could all share the same building. Now, I don't think we'd ever put anything right in here. Though I think we would struggle. Let's see, can we get it? Let's just go to the storages. And let's see, can we fit? No, you know what? Let's go to the roads. Can we get the power? I think we can get power lines over there. Could we build this? No, it would go like this way, right? And then I would want to put it... The darn helper thing. All right, let's spin around this way. Yeah, like if we put this, say right here. Let's just experiment a little bit. Can I build the connector? Yeah, I'm going to turn this a bit. Can I build the connector to a warehouse? All right, maybe put that this way. And the helper thing is getting in my way. All right, line that up. I mean, there should be an opening there. Yeah, the railroad track coming out that way. Yeah, let's turn it just a little bit. Probably have to replace that line anyhow, but can I do this now? Yes. See, there we go. Good. All right, so let's go over to roads. And one of the reasons I put it here is because we can just probably attach, yeah, right straight to that. And then this guy could attach here. So what we could do is have trucks come in, drop off their stuff here or here, and have like just a truck or two waiting here to take whatever got dropped off here and export it, right? So let's go ahead and commit to those things, and yeah, and then we need to do this one. All right, so I definitely am interested in building this rather sooner than later as part of our export, because this is the bulk of our exports. Yeah, the only thing I'm debating with this one is that it's going to be quite a bit of steel, I think. 11 tons, 16 tons. And do we just wait until we get our steel factory going? And maybe that's, well, you know what? Some of this, well, we could just switch this over to exporting these trucks, right? Like, make sure none of these are going to, yeah, so those aren't going to, so this is already going to Valencia, or whatever you call it. Yeah, we're really, or, okay, so this one truck would need to be switched. Well, let's go ahead and do that, right? So where is he at now? I don't want to, you can just wait until he's done dropping off that one load, right? Yeah, hopefully we can catch him on the way back. So does that make sense? So that guy could be exporting. And then how are we doing building our kindergarten? Well, we're getting it done, and we got workers in there. So it's, so what that means to me, this is being constructed from all the way up there. So what that's telling me is that we could definitely do this, right? If I open this guy up, not that I had too much doubt, but, right, so we could start getting this constructed and this constructed. Yeah, and then once those two roads are built, we could get that. So what we'll do, yeah, kindergarten's getting built, good. Just for the sake of people being able to go to work. So what we'll do in the future is, instead of having, like, say, this truck, right? Yeah, and this guy could probably get switched. Is he sitting there waiting? Yeah, I think he is. Let's see. Yep, he's sitting there waiting. Now this truck goes to the Egg and Ham warehouse, which would be the domestic supply. And then when he got done, we could switch him to drop off the remainder here. Right, and then instead of this guy going to the food factory directly, we would just say load anything, and then go to, yeah, let's close this, and we don't really need this guy yet. Right, so we'll go and we'll say, I want you to take up any excess food. All right, let's make sure it goes at the end. All right, and then we would have an unload anything there. Get rid of the get rid of that other one. All right, and then again, instead of going to the food factory over here, he would go to this, well, probably this road cargo station, and we could put as many trucks in here as we needed to, and have maybe the other ones just dropping off into here, and just we'll have to keep an eye to make sure this doesn't get filled up. But then we could do the same thing with this guy, right? So instead of him go into the clothing factory, he would sit in here and wait for a truck that would come back with whatever clothing didn't go to the domestic supply. Right? So, and again, we don't have to do too much different than we are now. Now there should be another truck here, and we'll get him switched over as well while we're doing this. All right, so let's head back over to our, oops, Soviet Brothers export. I think if I just click that, yeah, it'd be good. All right, and you want to unload anything and then get rid of this one. All right, so now we're switched there. Let's go to here. Get rid of that one. Unload anything. I think that's all of our clothing trucks. Now let's go see. We can tell the cistern. Yeah, where are you at? Are you on your next trip, or are you just making it there now? Yeah, it's fine. We'll get this. It's good. It took us over to there, right? So here's all related vehicles. That's that cistern. Yeah, and then we could do the same thing with the lumber. Now, I'm really not too worried about the lumber, to be honest with you. Yeah, and really, I think I just want to take this guy off of there altogether. I thought I had done that at one point. What does he have? No, you know what? Come on back. Wherever you're at, and go to here. Oh. No. Oh, okay, good. I did the wrong one. Oh, no. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really confusing myself. All right, so... Yeah, so the lumber guy, we're just going to pull off of there for the moment. Maybe we can use him someplace else. And then this guy is another alcohol one. And then what is this? This one is that cistern. So this guy's empty. So let's switch these two over for now for going over to here. All right, so we'll get rid of that. Unload anything. And then this guy's just going to go back to the depot. And then this guy, we're going to do the same thing. Unload anything, but do it up here. Good. All right, let's just double check. All related vehicles. Yeah, that's just that one truck. Can I delete these without any harm? Yeah, good. Just so it's not on our list. Good, so we're not exporting anything to the Americans any longer. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily the smartest thing to do relative to our purchasing things here, but let's go ahead and do, oops. All right, that's rubles. Okay, so so we just need to do this and it'll switch it over. All right, and then where else would we be importing things? It's really just the stores, right? Fuel, but that fuel should only be like a backup, I'm hoping. All right, so we do need to go to the fuel stations, which here's another one. Now, if we miss the fuel station, we'll be able to tell, I think, reasonably easily. Now, what else? Well, cement and stuff down here, right? All right, and then that should be... We'll take a look as time goes on, and we'll be able to see if we missed something. And then here... Yeah, this store should buy the things from rubles if they run out. We're buying food here, which I'm not. Yeah, well, we'll see. We should be okay with food there anyway. Nothing else. Yeah, that's school. Here, yeah, we're buying food if we're out, so let's switch that over. And then. Not buying anything there. Not buying anything there. Or here. Yep. And then we have this fuel if we run out. And then it's not a bad review of what we're doing here. There's no fuel up that way, which we won't really need anymore anyway, right? Because, right, then we have this one. And then we would have this store here. Oh, that's a school. This store here. Over to rubles. All right, nothing else there would be purchasing. We have this fuel station here. And then here. Bitumen. Alright, anything else? No, nothing there. Well, here. And we should have another fuel station. Yeah, we didn't put this on auto purchase, but I think I will, alright, just the minimum. Now that we have trucks that should be handling that. And the truck that comes here, that's definitely like one of the ones that we would want to put so that he's already going to Volonasivia. But that would definitely be one that, like, when he got back down there, we would say unload whatever's left. Now, I don't like the fact that he's empty All right, what are you doing? I don't want to get... Yeah, see, the fact that he's empty means we didn't take enough fuel up here, which is a bit of a concern. We might want to put another truck because his last... Well, you know what, then again... Oh, no, we purchased over there. Right, like we did fill this up, so we might be using more fuel up here than that one truck is delivering. And we could tell because this would be his last stop. We're good to go for the moment. All right, we can keep an eye if we end up purchasing actual fuel. All right, and then this one, did I not approve that purchase, I guess? All right, just in case, rather than run out. Yeah, so there we go. So that's, I think, I mean, and what we can do is we can take a look at our economy, and this is the imports, Western country. Right, nothing's going up for a few seconds here anyway, which is kind of what we wanted to see. All right, so we have plenty of construction projects, and let's see. So did we get? I guess the other thing to consider would be this wood. But to be honest, I'm really not worried about exporting the wood. It's such a low dollar item. It's the same thing with this gravel over here. Like, it's just. You know, I mean, unless we're right next to the border, it's really not even worth selling off the excess. You're probably better off just making sure you're not overproducing it, and yeah, because it's just probably not even worth the fuel to drop that stuff off. Now, so we'll get this road done, and that'll cover all of these as far as these three, and then we'll have this for the fuel, and then if we expand it. You know, I don't think there's any reason if we put more clothing factories or other things here that we couldn't do the same idea. So let's head over to here and just kind of think about how this might work out, right? So we have bricks, this, and steel, and I would like to make it so that it was reasonable for the trains that we might have in the future that it might be hauling this stuff. And yet at the same time do it so that we could do it by truck without an issue. The problem being, well, no, in the large thing, there is two, in one of these large storages, there is 2 parking spaces. So we could have an export truck and then have the other ones coming in to drop stuff off. Pretty shortly here, I want to get rid of this one. So the question really comes into, you know, if we had a train coming back. And then the other thing is looking at this, you know, I'd probably want to bring this steel train over this way, right? Because it's more direct shot out to the rest of the world. And then we would have an export that would come over to here somehow. It's going to be a heck of a train track to go export by train there. So I guess it doesn't matter too much. I'm just trying to think, do I do it on this side of the road? Yeah, let's do it on this side of the road just because it gives us more room to work, right? If I try to jam what I'm about to in over there, it's going to be kind of tight, I think. So let's start out with, yeah, can I get to it from here? We're going to want a cargo station to get started, and yeah, no, I can't really get to the storage that I want from there. So we want to go to storages. Now, could the export trains... Now, the export train should definitely come there, but this import train... All right, and I got a power line right there, so we'll come off of it a little bit extra. I think I want the roads coming off this way. All right, so why don't we keep that a little bit close to that power station? I don't think that'll cause a problem, right? And then we'll go back over to the trains and go to, that's roads, cargo station, right? And then, yeah, one of the problems that I'm thinking I might have is getting that road out. But I think I could cheat it maybe a little bit this way. Let's go ahead and get the road. I've learned that mistake in the past. Right, we definitely want to be able to get the road in and out. Alright, so now let's go back over to cargoes, or storages. Right, and then the question is, how many of what do we want? Road goes over this way. Yeah, see, that's a little bit less than ideal. Will you attach? Yeah, okay. You'll attach. Right, so this would be prefab panels, this would be bricks, and then we need another one for steel. And I think we can handle cement through here. Did they ever add that to the list of things that handles? Right, because we would potentially have a cement train coming out of here as well. No, they never did, but I'm pretty sure we can get cement through this train cargo station. So let's see. Let's go back over to our storages. And this would be, yeah, let's keep it a little bit road on the other side, yeah, a little bit further away, so that, let's make sure that can get built. Yeah, very good. And then the last thing we would want is a storage, sorry, brain freeze. Right, where's the road? Okay, yep, the road's out that way. Oh, let's build this road first. Sorry. Right, make sure that can come out. And cement silo. Now, cement silo doesn't have a train thing, so do we need another cargo station for the cement, right? Because we can pull the train in here to drop off stuff, right? Or pick up stuff, whatever way. Really just to drop off. This is all about efficient exporting. And then, yeah, I think we need another train station. It's a shame. Let's just go look. Yeah, see, cement's not, this isn't about aggregate either at this point. So, see, what I'm thinking is that we would need, yeah, let's see, will you attach? Right, and then I think we left ourselves enough room to get a road. Might as well just do that. And then we're going to need to get this road hooked up. So let's see. Oh, you didn't like that. All right. Oh, what's wrong? No, you know what? I want to go through here. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about that is if there's a train sitting in there, I don't want to have this road blocked off. But if we just start importing, yeah, let's go through the other one, just for the sake of being a little further away, so hopefully we don't have like a constant red signal there. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Right, so this guy can get attached to there. Yeah, you know what, you can go here. Let's see if we put in, of course, no, you don't want to go there, do you? Let's get the railroad track out first. All right, so we would have a railroad track across there. This could be a railroad track. Now, how does that do with our bridge here? Okay, we got this kind of in the way, but this is at the right angle to make it look nice. And then the steel, yeah, we might want to bring the steel out and around this way, but then what we would have is, you know, a little bit of a run in. I don't really see us using both of these. We'll work out the details later. But then I would picture, you know, like a railroad track that would run over to the border, right? So any train that would come up, yeah, let's do this a little bit further. Now I'm just sort of drawing pictures for you. Right, this really would just be one train track. Now, this train would have to be all of the trains, right, including this one, would need to get back over to here. So picture the train comes back from whatever it drops off on the rest of the map, and then the game doesn't do the most beautiful natural turns, does it? Right, so the train could come in here, drop off, and then it would come back out, and then, again, I might, if that's not straight, I'll straighten it up later, right? And then we would have, it would need to have, you know, you either go for a stop, do we want to, no, that's fine. Right, like that would have to be like that. And then we would come down here. Right, and that would go back over so that they could go into here somehow, one way or the other. And then this would allow them to come back. Yeah, you know what, we're going to go like here. We'll leave this nice and long so nice long trains could get in there, right? Right, and that would be, so they could come in here. Might even make this longer if it's not long enough. And that would be so that the cement and whatnot could get in there. And then if we did this one, let's leave a little bit of a long run in. Right, do that, make it look a little square. And so this guy, I don't know, could be the bricks or the prefab panels, and he can come in and out, and then they would be able to go this way to get in there, pick up their next load. Whatever they dropped off here, here, here would be the excess. And then we would do something similar for the steel guy. All right, let's just run this kind of long. Right, and then we would have like a line here for the steel coming out. I'm going to run this sort of extra long to stay away from that road a bit. All right. What are you doing there, buddy? Oh, are you right on a... Okay. might want to make that longer anyway, right? No, you're not attached, are you? I can't really see. Yeah, let's go a little bit closer. All right, so that guy could get in, pick up his next load of steel, and he could come into here. Now he would have to be able to come in here and then get to this one. So why don't we see if we can't leave it plenty long so that they can, yeah, I think that'll work out fine. All right, so when he gets done dropping off his steel, he would come in here, drop off whatever excess he had, and then come over there. And then we would have these two trains, which might even do like a bridge here, because these trains could kind of be independent, right? It's not exactly the straightest thing I ever built, but, right, and then this train would really, at this point, just need to head this way. And I mean, to get started, we could just have like a single track, and this wouldn't need to be here at all. All right? And then down here, we could have like a two-way thing kind of happening, depending on where we wanted to go. So we could have, you know, a nice long lead into this, you know, before they would switch off. Right, and then, yeah, I almost want to do, yeah, we're just going to do something like this. Right, so this would be kind of a two-way sort of thing. Now we'd have to do, yeah, we have to think about the back and forth into here. Do we do double tracks there? But what I'm thinking of is we split this off this way. Right. think I have that. Come from, like, say, here. Crossing not allowed. You know, let's get rid of this anyhow. We're kind of getting over the time of the episode anyway, but I sort of want to lay all this out because I'm having fun. It's one of the things planning. All right, so now the problem is if we do all of this, we're going to have like a bunch of one-way track kind of problems. Now, all of these guys coming this way, it's after they will have dropped off, right? So what I think we really want is... why won't you? Are we in that? Yeah, we're in that mode there where we can't. All right, if I did like this, I think I get rid of this, right? Up to there is probably pretty good. And then we... All right, if we attach that way, this would be the incoming. No, we had it right the first time. Oops. Because this would be, it's these. You know what I'm wondering? Now, it doesn't matter. One way or the other, if they have to go in, they have to cross, right? Yeah, so, but this one would actually be the one that would go to here. And then these would need to get switched. All right, so this one should go to there, right? Because that would be the incoming. All right, same thing with up to, so we should make that a double, at least up to there. And then what we need is, when they come back out, they need to make it to the other one. Right, so this would be coming in. Jeez, look at that. All right, so can we come off of here? All right, so when they're coming back out, they would go the one way here, and then this would be one way there. This is, you know, where we might have a bridge. Now, this would just allow for one train at a time, so we'll have to think about the ramifications of that. Let's get rid of... All right, and then we would, so that would be the innie. Right, so there we go. So that's at least a bit of a plan. I definitely think we would want a bridge across here, but that would allow us by train. So I think in the next episode, we'll come back and just, you know, as we're working on other things, which speaking of which, I know we're still not making great progress, but making progress. So we'll talk about, well, we get this road in, right? I guess let's do that. One last thing. All right, that would really probably want to be... that, and then you can come off of that intersection, and you just need to, yeah, I'm not overly thrilled if there's a train sitting in there, but there shouldn't be too much for trains sitting in there, right? Get rid of that bit. Get rid of that bit, so that even as we start this, oops, we didn't get this one. All right, we could do like that. All right, so even if we start doing all this stuff with trucks, we'll be able to bring a truck into here, and because these have 2 parking spaces, does the cement have 2 parking spaces? I think it does. Maybe it doesn't have any. Yeah, that's kind of... Well, we'll have to see, right? Because the problem being here is that if we have to sit the cement there, now, we don't have to build this, right? We could just... And I'm not really that worried. Are we even going to export cement before we have trains? Probably not. You know, I mean, it's one of those things. I don't think it's... I mean, it's kind of worth... It's worth a little bit more than the stone or the wood. Let's take a look at our price right this minute. Right, cement's worth 91, which is certainly better than... Let's compare it to the stone or the gravel at this point is 23. So, but I don't know that we would necessarily be too worried. And if we are, maybe what we do is build a little forklift thing here, right, where we could have it go either way, but... Let's see for now. Again, I'm not too worried about exporting cement. More, I'd like to be able to export excess steel or even just use it for storage. That's the other thing. Like, you know, like sometimes we might want to build up our stock of steel. We don't have to export from here. But certainly getting the prefab panels and the bricks exported by train eventually is, I think, worth, you know, rather than just having excess production, it's a good thing to do. So there we go. So let me know what you guys think. Kind of elaborate for this. And, you know, I really wasn't trying to make these rails perfect yet. But I'm, you know, building out the, almost like a sketch pad here as far as what we would do as far as that goes. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.